Talk Radio with the Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado. News, commentary, and entertainment. Today we're going to talk about ISIS. What do they have to do with what's happening in Baltimore? Well, we're going to discuss that right now on Talk Radio. You have a lot of disturbing imagery on TV, video. You have images online, on Facebook, and your other graphic social shares. We've spoken toward the issue, direct issue, what's going on in Baltimore and with all of our neighbors and Afro-American friends. We've already discussed in those other segments what resources there are and really where the focus should be. We're definitely going to talk a lot about these things in the future, and definitely there's a lot to talk about, and I welcome guests, those who want to engage in the discussion, and those who want to make a contribution. We'll certainly invite it to on the YouTube channel and wherever you are accessing this feed from, and also you're invited to contact me for me to speak, and also to speak on this program. So let's begin the discussion. But today we're going to talk about the ISIS issue, and in light of all this, the images, we are in this society, we've really gone down a far way. This society is really slipping. The economy isn't helping. The frustration and feelings on both sides, if there is another side to this, either way, it's tense. People have their issues and their problems. Their environment is adding stressors to them, and so and part of that environment is the images, the teaching that we're getting from images on internet and on TV. It's so violent and conducive to what's going on. The previous segments, I hinted at things going out of hand, and I say that, and I try not to get into this topic as to not be the one to spark any ideas into any listener's mind, but the real danger is that ISIS and groups like them would take, if they haven't done so already, advantage and begin to influence the state of affairs within country here in the United States, to our detriment. I think that this is a serious matter. I think that if we are spending monies on terrorism, that part of that should go into inner city prevention. And I'm not only talking about, which is needed, economic interventions and other types of mental health interventions. But I'm also regarding the influence, undue influences that groups like ISIS, and ISIS is like taking the main stage right now, but there are so many, and there have been throughout the decades. But ISIS is really just using the latest in internet access and social communication. They have just really just capitalized on all of that. And I think that it's getting to a point, or has already gotten to the point, that it is actually influencing our internal affairs here in the country. This shows what's happening in Baltimore, what has happened in other cities around the United States, and what will be going on in the future, because this is not the end, is easily exploitable by groups like ISIS and even internal groups here in the United States in order to disrupt this country. I think that this country is in serious and dire danger of collapsing. This situation, with a little more added to it, more in terms of expansion throughout the United States, and a little more severity, coupled with even the slightest interruption in basic human living. It could be internet disruption. It could be caused by natural events, even weather, earthquakes like you have in Nepal just recently now, concurrently with this issue in Baltimore. The things can domino and really tip the situation over to an extreme. I think that because of this, the government should really consider also paying very close attention, and the Congress, along with the president, working together to throw some money into intervention, because I feel, and I can see it coming to a head, that anything that's really out of the control of the United States, out of the control of the Congress, out of the control of normal folk, can really turn this thing into a major catastrophe, into a collapse of government. It's already challenged here in the local area. In terms of Baltimore, local authority is highly challenged. Families are weakened already. You used to be, you can depend on the family to control their kids, to educate. I don't like the word control. I like education. But we can't depend on that now, again, for the reasons that we spoke to before, and we will continue to speak about. And I think we're near a state of emergency. And I don't mean to be alarmist, but I have to raise an early alarm. This is an early alarm. I don't consider myself a prophet, but you don't need to be. The Bible already says that things are going to go down the drain, and we are very close to that time. And I think that we're starting to hear the flush starting to happen. Again, it only needs really just a natural catastrophe right now, a major collapse of some type of national interconnectivity, communications, just something that will really destabilize whatever stability is there. I think the nation is cracked. It's been cracked for a while. It has. It's definitely fragmented. And I think an earthquake, either literally or figuratively, a natural catastrophe or a catastrophe just made by our stupidity and ignorance of this, will cause a major shake-up and a collapsing of what we now know as what was left of, I should say, the United States, because it's definitely not the same place I grew up in. So this is going. I think the stupidity of a lot of people for a lot of years, and I'm not talking about the impoverished and the and those that were not empowered. This was not their fault. I think those that had power or have it still, still trying to hold on to some of it. I think you guys are the culprit of what has happened, and you purposely ignored the situation, and now it's really going to get to the point where it's going to get out of hand. So I think if you don't listen to sense, you're not listening to my voice, you don't listen to sound counsel that has been always available, I think you're going to really wake up one morning and find that the floor has been removed from under your feet. And this is a sad statement, but that's the reason I'm on now to speak. My voice is here in this talk radio program to bring this news and commentary. So I think that in terms of the churches now, this ISIS thing is a religious-based issue, and one of the things, it brings up something that we need to talk about, and that is the cohesiveness of the people of God. You know, so many of us say we're children of God, we're the people of God. You know, God is one. God is one, and I'm trying to find children of God who are reasoning that why are we so divided? Why is there so much division? It's an issue, and I hate when people say it's an issue of faith. I think that's another way of saying, well, it's an issue of ignorance. But that's for another segment, another talk radio program. But I don't see why churches are so divided. You're part of the problem. What's happening in Baltimore is the same thing that's going on in the churches. Churches are throwing stones one at another. Churches, yes, are fighting against authority. And I'm not talking about human authority either. I'm talking about the authority of the Holy Spirit, of God's Spirit, and God's Word. I think ministers are the first ones, again, because they're the leaders, they're the first ones to do that. They're guilty. I think that you are politically motivated. I think that you are have personal materialistic ends to your ministries, and that has compromised your so-called gospel message. I think that Christians, lay people, have everything to do with this, because you support them. Their churches are full. Those voices that promote ignorance, and in these cases here of protests, that are promoting these protests, that have taught the people to protest in this fashion, I think that they are the one that they're getting personal gain from this situation. and because they are making personal gains from it, they are motivating this for their own means. This same attitude is seen in those who participate. That's why they're breaking into liquor stores. That is why they're going to get the brand new TV set, breaking into the stores, while they're supposedly protesting for this or for that. We see that the underlying goal is to come out with something, to get and to take an advantage, and to take advantage of the situation. I think this mentality has been mentored to them, absolutely, and so again, where is the church? Now we see some churches come back outside to take back their city. I applaud you. I applaud the brave pastors and the brave church members who walk the streets in peace, and to show an example. The problem is that since Martin Luther King, we've had very little by the way of example. I believe that, you see, it's like what I said before. You're picking up. I'm thankful for that, and the nation is thankful to you. But also, I think that you're picking up the pieces after it's broken. I think the churches should be together, band together, and do this on a regular basis in peace, and showing example of peaceful gathering and peaceful dialogue and peaceful discussion of what the issues are, and engage as a community. I'm talking about the church. All of it, everyone join as a community to deal with these issues without prejudice, without your division. If this is this council or that faith or this faith, the people are lost because we are fighting amongst ourselves. And it needs to stop. And Christians in their churches, the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you criticize your other Christian brethren. You don't support the other churches or the Christian ministers who are speaking out, but you criticize them. It's a division in the church. That is not unity. That is not the Spirit of God. And what we have is this result. This is the result of that. People not speaking in truth. And the question is are we speaking in truth? Matter of fact, this segment should have been done with my Truth Radio. Actually, I have that where we deal with church issues in particular. And so, but this is poured out into the communities, poured out into affecting our national sensibilities. And so this is why I take the time to speak of these things here on this platform. I'll be right back after this message. Hopefully this time will work. We had issues last time. Here's a message from myself from the Ada F course, which is one of the resources we provide to help especially children, ethnic children, to overcome some of the hurdles which unfortunately we are seeing the result of not dealing with this adequately. So take a listen. Bring your child from an F to an A in just 3 months. Learn the most effective and proven techniques I personally have tested and proven to work without fail. I have designed this friendly and easy resource to help you help your child to turn the tables around and begin to finally progress towards achievement in school and in life. Hello, this is the Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado, author and professor. I teach this course myself. It is the CMT Academic Improvement course, and you should take this course if your child has brought home a grade of C or worse. CMT stands for Cognitive Mentoring Therapy. It is a therapy that I have created and developed, and I bring this and shape it to help your child improve academically. The practical online interactive course will, with a live instructor, my person will teach you how to help your child raise their course grades, improve their reading levels, overcome math difficulties, improve their study habits and testing performance, as well as improve their school behavior significantly, and so much more. Finally, take the pilot seat and steer your child toward personal achievement and greater self-esteem. These 16 two-hour sessions online feature lesson outlines, assignment lists and explanations, a glossary, keys to the study, online reference resources, video or audio lecture, other multimedia resources, chat client and or voice chat for instructor lectures and Q&A, on-screen textbook, notepad for your note-taking, email interaction, e-textbook included, and access to our archived lesson chats, and so much more. 4 easy monthly payments. Save by registering today. Lock in your low rate and start your monthly payments now. Now, if you register from June 1st through June 30th, and that's again before this school year begins, it would be only $20 a month. It's a great time to begin. Your child should be starting his summer or his or her summer vacation. It's the great time to start this, and it's the lowest rate for you at only $20 a month. If you register from July 1st through July 31st, you pay then only $40 a month. If you register on August 1st through August 31st, then you pay only $60 a month. The regular price is $80 regularly. So by registering early and starting your course early, you can be better prepared to help your child for the next school year. Again, if your child is having an issue right now, then you really need to start the course immediately. You must call to gain these benefits, to get the course and to get the low pricing. You need to call right now at 407-997-3850. That is 407-997-3850. It's also available in Spanish, disponible también en español. Bring your child from an F to an A in just 3 months. What people may not realize was that actually, if you saw any of the news reports, you would have noticed that there were 2 groups of people, 2 groups of Afro-Americans in Baltimore and in most of these protests. The solution was right staring at you in the face. In continuance with talk radio, news, commentary, entertainment. It was incredible, really. I was watching the news, Fox News, which is my source of news, and I saw the so-called protesters really we were looking at liquor store being robbed, some other store being robbed, and whatnot. Mayhem, of course. I cannot criticize what is going on because I know what the underlying factors are. And I have solutions for that. I do consulting, if So again, I have solutions for all of this. Again, but just like the certain communities do not engage the helps that are available, also society and businesses and government agencies are also not engaging the helps that are available, because I am available, but my phone is not ringing. Actually, my phone is here next to the mic, so if it rings, you would have heard it. But you see that I've been recording for over an hour already, not for this segment alone, but in totality, it has not rung as yet. And again, I'm being sarcastic with that, but but it's the same issue. You see how much money was spent by the IRS in a silly Star Trek training thing that they put on, highly criticized, rightfully so. And yet I have real solutions to intervene and to prevent these things. And again, my phone is not ringing. So I have mixed feelings about the sincerity of government and business and community leaders, because again, as a pastor, as a minister, as a council developer, a church council that we've started, where I've put in 3 different forms of membership. I have the fully integrated membership, which means that the church gives itself over to our council, meaning that it merges with the mother church. So that's one thing that we offer. And there's a lot of details in that, the benefits and whatnot, but I'm not going to get into that on this platform. I'm just saying that the membership is available. In the same organization, we have an affiliation membership, where the churches can affiliate ministers as well, and they will get all resources to help their communities and help their congregation. So we have that. Then we have even an associated membership, which is just simply almost like subscribing to a magazine, where the church and minister will subscribe, if you will, to the resources. I'm making the resources available to all communities. The issue is the churches themselves, with their politics and with the division and with their jealousies and envy, they choose not to connect with us. And you've been doing this, and other church councils have been around for years, for decades, even centuries in some cases. So here we are. Look at what's going on. So this is not time. If the church has to learn first, so that the people can learn, we have to lead by example. And if the churches are divided, and we don't want to seek out good resources and to share it with our community, where is the love for the community? You don't have it. And I think that any person in the community, individual, if your church is not reaching out to bring in good resources, to your community, then that church is not serving your best interests. So I have to say that right now. If your church is not bringing in, because there's no way that your church has all the resources and all the right stuff and the effective stuff to deal with situations in your community. So if you just see that it's just about your church and the pastor is just about their church, and there's really no intervening resources for the community, and no helps really that go out and intervene. I'm not talking about picking up the pieces. I'm not talking about just the food pantry, which is debatably, I should say, a preventive measure. But it's also a passive measure. It's also after the fact. These people are poor. There's nothing being done to help them to get out of their poverty. All we're doing is helping them in their poverty. So I am just saying nothing wrong with that, but the other is also needed. And if the church isn't bringing in these resources and defending its right to do so, because I understand there are certain issues that arise for trying to be too intervening, but still, it is the right of the church, it is our authority, and it should be done, because obviously the government isn't doing enough of the right thing to help society and the fabric of society to maintain itself integral. So this is what we see. These are the fruits. Baltimore, Ferguson, New York City, Los Angeles, all of these are the fruits of the reality and the ineffectiveness of the system and that we now have. Again, we have winners, but we have a lot of losers, and I don't mean that derogatorily, but I mean it in the sense of observing the results. Okay, we need help, and we need to change the way we're doing things. Okay, so I think that the grassroots and churches need to begin to form collaborative efforts, which the government has been trying to do. But you see, the churches were doing it out of motivation, and I'm not just the churches, but community organization. The bottom line is funding, and that's why they move to do certain things. What I'm talking about here is not about funding. What I'm talking about here is stuff that works. Is having empowering churches, no matter how small they are, to reach out into the community and intervene. And so that's what we're doing in our ministry. Again, this is not intended to pout the ministry. It's only in relation to the problem that we're seeing and the reality that the churches, as an integral part of the community, are really not being effective as they should. Now we come and we have ISIS, who is basically preaching a new gospel to these people who feel, individuals and young people, they're gearing their message to young people who are frustrated. The same ones who would have been out there breaking into stores, throwing stones at the authority of police, developing or already harboring a hatred for the country. I see it all the time on Facebook. Hatred for the flag, hatred for the United States, hatred for the Republican Party. If you're a Democrat, that's fine. You don't need to hate the Republican Party. These are Americans. The Republican Party is composed of Americans, and they're elected by other people. Oh, my goodness, yeah, they are American as well. Hating fellow Americans is anti-American. And this is what people are not understanding. I'm a Republican, and I didn't say the previous in defense of Republicanism, but I'm saying I don't hate Democrats. My father's a Democrat. He's been a lifelong Democrat, and every time we get together, we clash on that. But I don't hate my father, and I don't hate his perspective. I don't disrespect him and or his perspective. I understand his perspective. When there's understanding, there's no room for hatred because there's understanding. Hatred means you don't understand. And I'm a man of understanding. So again, this is the point. Hatred is lack of understanding, and we have a lot of it in this country. And so this has to be changed. And Democrats need to respect Republicans, and Republicans need to respect Democrats as American. We're both here. Listen, we're here for the country. And citizens need to also respect other citizens and respect the rights of other people. I think we need to understand that. Okay, we're listening, we're hearing you. We know that you're frustrated. I hear you. I understand that. As a foster parent, I'm dealing with your children. As a minister, I'm dealing with you as families. And also as a minister, I'm confronting my peers and other churches as well to confront the truth of the matter, because it's not an issue of your church or your church denomination. It's an issue of truth. That is the worshiper that the Father seeks. You know what I'm talking about. I don't mean to turn this into a religious program, but you know what I'm talking about. So, let's seek truth. Let's share truth and educate with truth, not with prejudice and not with ignorance. Let us share truth and minister truth to the community. And we can do this together. I have resources. There's many who have resources. But again, since we're all divided and we're on different denomination, and I'm this and you're that and blah, 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 you know what? The people suffer. It doesn't matter how smart you think you are or how smart I think I am. The people are suffering. That's my frustration. I'm frustrated because I have a way to help, but you ministers and you churches out there are just interested in who sings better and who dances this way or that way, and the ones that have a message and a teaching and an intervention to help the communities, you shun away from us because at times I felt that you think that you have envy. At times I feel ministers are afraid. And I know this is true in many cases, that other ministers are afraid to have me come and bring all this educational acumen into the community because they feel that I am a competition. I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm trying to help the people. The people. This is about the people. It's not about you. And it's not about your church. It's about the people. So again, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the ones who are able to reach to the people are not doing so with the right stuff. But you know what? And you continue to do that, and you know what's happening? ISIS is coming in and preaching their gospel to the ones that you apparently don't care about. You say you do, but you don't, because you're not willing to bring in the resources to help. So ISIS is going to come in and tell these frustrated youth to rebel, to purge, as they say. That purge word, what they're trying to purge. They're purging the American way. I'm going to tell you what they're purging. They're purging the government's authority. They're purging respect for the flag and respect for the men and women who defended this country and who defend her today. Those who gave their lives to preserve what they're purging. And this is the catastrophe that's happening in this country, and will bring it down to its knees. Okay, and the church has an ability to intervene, but we're letting ISIS come in and further break down the stability the precious little there is in this country. And as days go by and the ministers still look at each other and still resist to band together and to bring these resources, and yes, I will say it, bring my resources to the people, it will only get worse and worse and worse. The issue with intervention is that it has to be started early. And basically, the problem with intervention, and that's what it is, it's a problem, is that it can only be given at this point to the next generation. This one now that's growing up now and doing all these things is going to be a headache. It's going to be a headache. But if we still don't do anything, then the following generation after that is going to be a doozy. And I really don't think that this country will be able to survive it. Okay, so you heard it from me now. I don't think the country will survive the next generation if nothing is done and truth is resisted. Then we're done for. It's unfortunate. It's gloomy. But you see, like you heard in the commercial announcement previously, I have that course from an F to an A. And you know, if the churches don't band together, if you don't make the resources I have to bring value to these kids, so they can feel and know that they are worth something, that they can make it, and they have a future, you know, that reality that we saw on TV, that disparity between those with the suits and those with the attitude, that opportunity that's staring us in the face, it will always be lost. It'll still be those that have against those that don't. And that's not the type of thing that we are able to afford, and it's not the type of thing that we should be fostering. Okay, so that's it for today. What do you think? You have another opinion? You have something to add? Are you an organization that's doing something? Why don't you contact us? Let me talk with you. I like to put you on this program. Let us work together. What resources that I have, and what skills I have, and what things you bring to the table, and together let us make something happen. Let us make good in times of bad. So thank you for watching and for listening, obviously, to Talk Radio. This is the Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado, Talk Radio, where we have news, commentary, and entertainment.